My name is Barbara Rupert. I'm the secretary of the Historic Village, and this is our village garden. Of course, today we're celebrating Homestead Day, and homesteaders had to have a garden in order to survive the winter. So we have a mixture of items in here that were planted in the spring. We had a row of a couple of different types of potatoes in here, and the boys are digging them up right now to see what we've gotten. We also found out that we had a great big worm in the garden, and of course worms tell you that your garden soil is good. If they can survive in your soil, you've got good soil. So we're working on some good soil here. We also have a second planting of green beans in here, and we've had some items that were actually came from the Jefferson Garden that we've planted in here, so we have heirlooms. So we can see this from one year to the next. We have some peppers from that garden, from Jefferson, and we also have some tomatoes. We planted a variety of corn. We had sweet corn that we harvested in August, and we have now a variety of corn that we hope will give us some nice Indian color popcorn. We're looking forward to that. We also had it's a very good year. We had a lot of gourds and pumpkins this year. This is a nice gourd that we got from the garden. We also have planted marigolds along the side of the garden next to our bread oven, and the marigolds are very good because they keep the insects away. Case in point, right next to the marigolds, excuse me a second, Bryce, is an eggplant, and this eggplant is in bloom. I have some in my garden that are about a third that tall, and they are not planted near anything to keep the insects away, and the insects have pretty much devoured mine. So this is a good indication of how well the marigolds keep insects away from your crops. We also have some peppers here. We have a variety of tomatoes. You can actually see some growing here as volunteers. There was a tomato thrown here, so they're all coming up on their very own. Back here we have an interesting plant. This is a bean plant, but it's a castor bean. So the castor beans were used for medicinal purposes. But right now it's considered a poisonous plant because most people don't make castor anymore to make a nice stew for your kids when they're sick. Do you remember, boys, getting any castor oil when you're sick? No, you're lucky. These pop, so you have seeds that pop all over the place, and in the spring we actually have to pull up weeds. There are some small ones growing all around right now because of the seeds that pop here. Some people use these in gardens to let their regular beans that are climbers grow up so they don't have to put any stakes in. We also have some asparagus growing back there, and we have an herb garden. We have actually put in a compost pile in the back, so when we pull up these weeds and all the dead corn, we'll be able to have that for next year's sustenance for our garden again. Let's see, anything else we have here? This is some old grass that we have used to actually compost and keep the moisture in the garden and keep the weeds from growing. So that's a handy thing to have. And that's pretty much that part of the garden. Would you like to see the herb garden? All right, again, we're at the Historic Village, and this is the herb garden at the village. We have a variety of herbs here. We have some lamb's ear. We have some sage. We have some mints take over, so you'll find mints all over in here. We have some parsley that has gone to seed. We have some onions and garlic. This is a comfrey plant, and this is used in a lot of stews for some cultures. We don't use it as often, but it's known as a healing poultice. You can make a poultice out of these leaves, And I had a person give me the original plant, and he actually said that when he made a poultice, he had cured a wound that he had, that they were talking about amputating his leg, and this actually helped him heal it. So, so it's a valuable plant to me. It has a beautiful purple flower on it. Most of these things grow on their own, and they're perennials. They're considered perennials. They don't die off. There are a few that do. But you can see some of them have actually almost taken over. So we also have a grape plant right here. I think it's probably a wild grape. I'm not sure. That's growing in here. And these are actually chives. Onions and garlic are back over here. Oh, let me show you just this one item. Let me get it for you. We have asparagus in the back, and if you've never seen asparagus seed, this is what the seed looks like. It's a little red berry. When these drop down, you'll actually get some new asparagus starting, and they'll come back every year. And that's pretty much our herb garden. Thank you very much.